Hey Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and welcome to Songs of Silence. This is one of those incredible games that comes around once in a while. Now, I actually covered this game for free a few months ago, but the developers have created a full new expansion for the game, and they reached out to me to do a sponsored video. And I was like, absolutely, I love this game, I think it's wonderful. I can't believe I haven't done a full playthrough of it. But in the run-up to Christmas, I might not have the time to do a full playthrough, but I can at least show you this new expansion. Now, this is sponsored, but again, I want to emphasize that I, generally speaking, don't take sponsorships unless I really like the game. Or in other words, I only take sponsorships if I think the game is worth playing, and I think it's a lot of fun. And Songs of Silence is one of those games. This game is mind-blowing. It's as if the essence of 90s strategy games was brought forward into an incredible modern style. Anyway, so like, to get the promotional part of the video out of the way, the whole expansion has an array of new content. You've got 2 new types of heroes, you've got 8 units, you've got strategy cards, building upgrades, battle cards, unit perks, a whole story campaign. There's a new story campaign called The Gift for the Faithless, which follows on from the original story campaign. This is a game built to get a lot of value out of it. The story campaigns, I think they're voice acted, they're well written. It's in an incredibly imaginative and beautiful and unique world that the developers have crafted. So if you're really interested in something that plays a little bit like Heroes of Might and Magic, has an incredibly unique art style, and some very interesting gameplay mechanics, I 100% recommend Songs of Silence. This is a contender for 2024's Game of the Year, which was last year. With regards to strategy, it's always hard to pick one, but I would put, like, if I was running the Game Awards, I would put this in contention. Anyway, I love this game. I think it's awesome. Let's actually get into playing. So rather than play the campaign fully through, I'm just going to show you like the opening of the campaign to show you like the new campaign of how like beautiful, like remember these old screens and old strategy games and how gorgeous it is. I just want to show you like the opening story section, because it is really, really gorgeously done. And I think just a taste of that, if you're interested in single player campaigns, this will do it for you. Oh, I did a test run earlier. I need to start over. 1 second.
Gravina welcomes the Celestial Church's procession under brooding skies, an ill omen for the desolate realm. They come to aid King Boralan restore order, after Alaric the Conqueror left the realm in ruins with his conquest. But it is futile, for heresy spreads swiftly among the people, and kings forsake their faith and vows even swifter.
So I love the storytelling in this game. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, the art is just incredible.
Silence and scorched farmland for a day's flight. What a wretched place. I hope Haven has arrived safely by now. Best I meet this sorry excuse of a king quickly.
But also something really fun that the developers did is all of the relics in the game have been replaced with a giant floating potato, which is incredible. And it has They even put in like cool, like this is just for this particular video and this build, like the third sacred reliquary was the All-Father Spud, a lumpy ever-sprouting root from which millions of potatoes have sired. While its skin remained unpeeled, the bearer's authority could not be questioned. Their commands seasoned with an unquestionable spice. Anyway, so let's actually, I'm not going to play the campaign because I don't want to spoil the story for people who might play the campaign themselves. Rather, I'm going to jump into a skirmish game so I can kind of show off. But I just wanted to show you that like the campaign, it's beautiful. The game is gorgeous. It has a really nice voice acting when it comes to reading the lines. But we're going to jump into a skirmish so we can actually create a game and talk about the new faction. So when you're setting up a game, you can choose between small, medium, large size. for both worlds. This game has light and dark worlds, which both have their unique graphics and a couple of unique things with each of them. I'm going to set up a random game but no teams. You can also unlock these things called fates, which kind of modify the gameplay. It's really, really cool. Like, for example, you only have 4 minutes to make your turns. Or you can double the speed of animations if you want to finish the game a little bit quicker. You can have Mist World, where the Fog of War returns. Lots of cool modifiers. I'm going to play it just kind of vanilla, so we can get the hang of the game. I'm definitely going to be choosing the new Celestial Church faction because they have some really interesting abilities. So let's see. We can choose a reliquary for our hero. So we can get the Golden Potato, which adds defensive means to our army and heals all units by up to 30% per turn. That's really good for momentum. The Ever-Sprouting Potato gives defensive bonuses and spawns an Exarchist at the start of battle. Armies with this reliquary cannot be slowed. Scout, this is the Potato of Truth, amazing. And the Mirrored Potato adds defensive means Divine Spark card. Ooh, cool. I really like the Golden Potato. I think I'm going to go with the Golden Potato. And then in terms of hero class, I think the Inquisitor and the Truth Weavers are the two new leaders. The Cobalt Seeker, the Rogue Prince, the Erudite, and the Forlorn Pride Leader, these are heroes that you can pick with any faction. I'm going to be an Inquisitor. And my vocation is going to be... I like the idea of being an Iron Confessor. Okay, so we're going to be an Iron Confessor. I'll add a bunch of random factions in just to make things interesting. Genuinely, though, I feel like I can't compliment this game enough. So one thing that I love about this game are the graphics. Like, I definitely think the studio that made this game is a studio to watch. Like, if this was something I could personally... If I could be like, listen, I'll pay you guys to... If I had $1 billion, I would give it to this studio because look how gorgeous like the terrain is. Look at the trees, they're so beautiful. The way the grass fields subtly wiggle with the wind, the birds flying around with that little sort of cartoon outline. Everything about this is gorgeous. Like the UI is so perfect for the style of the game and the information that it presents. Like, okay, sure, it's missing a couple of things. Like, I wish I had nested tooltips and like there's a couple little grievances there, but I'm not going to complain that an indie studio didn't do, you know, nested tooltips for their incredibly artistic and beautiful Heroes of Might and Magic style game. So this is a city. It's not a capital because our capital, right, when we're playing as this faction is actually our army here. This army, if I go into the city, right click, the army itself is actually our capital. So if we lose our main army, I believe we lose. So we're in the city of Caligburg. I do find the text, it is wonderful that they have like their own unique text to present the style of the game. It can be a little bit hard to read sometimes. So we have a Confession Tower level 2 here, which gives extra gold income and stops Faith from declining here. Faith is our unique faction mechanic. We need to constantly maintain Faith. So this is a level 2. It also adds the storage perk. We're making 27 gold per turn here, plus 10 building materials and 1 Faith. One thing we could look to do is, I wonder, do we have cards that we could play? Yes, so we could play a level 2 Purge on this city to increase the Faith income. So boom, we're going to purge this location and you can see the little eye symbol above the city. We have effectively increased the Faith level in here by purging heretics. So this is also a fortified position. It is a place where we can store loot wagons. It has a garrison unit and supply. So probably the best thing to do in the early game is to recruit units. So what are our options here? We've got the Avowed. This is a Starborn Infantry Believer. These are strong yet slow priests who enfeeble their enemies with their attacks. And then we've got Esquires, which are Starborn Infantry Guardians. These are tanky battle priests who taunt their allies to keep them, or taunt their enemies to keep them away from fragile allies. And then we've got the Skirlith, which is a flying battle priest with accurate strikes who can wound several enemies at once in close combat. I think I'm going to recruit the Skirlith, as I think that's the most powerful of the options there. Now these Esquires, oh, perk. So they have 8 out of 10 power. Every combatant in this unit has a maximum power of 5. Modifiers grant a maximum of +1 of +5, cannot be below 1. Got it. So you can never get more than +5 power on your base power. They have 4 hit points. They have a 50% chance to ignore incoming physical damage. They block. They have +1 power when defending against melee attacks. They're immune to line breaking and devastating charge. They have Pierce 2, so they ignore enemy armor. That's great. And they have Taunt. So every 8 seconds, this unit will attempt to taunt nearby enemies with a 100% chance, forcing them to abandon their current target and attack them instead. So these guys are good at soaking up damage. So we're a very melee-focused lineup right now. Wolfgar Blackmantle is our hero, and he's pretty strong. I don't believe he has a maximum power. He has 26 health. He's a believer level 2. So any units that are inside this army that have the believer power or a believer tag will get +2 power, which I believe affects the Skirlith. So I think the Avowed are believers, but the Esquires are guardians. So the Esquires don't get the +2 power, but the Skirlith will get the +2 power, making them quite a bit stronger. I don't actually know how the mechanics of like, I know that like when a unit attacks, its power is compared to the unit's power it's attacking, and then the damage is done. But these guys, they should have like an AoE attack ability. Here it is, Trample. So when they attack up to 2 additional enemies. Units that have Fly or Evasion cannot be trampled, so useful against low tier units. Right, so we've recruited a new army. We've kind of taken an overview. Let's take our Divine Spud out on a mission. I do see something up here to the north. This is a hamlet that we could go conquer. Let's go attack it. And we'll go ahead and jump in and start seeing if we can rip this apart. So we have Authority 1. Play on the unit to give it defense power. I'm going to play this on these guys to give them defense power. We also have Heavenly Wrath. So we could do an AoE damage spell. I'll do that over here on these enemies. And then we have the Fly battle card, which gets our flying friendly units to the target location. So one of the things I love about this game is that the actual tactical battles are like auto battlers, so you don't need to even worry about it. It just happens, which is really cool. It's all about setting up your units to position. I don't know if you've played something like Mechabellum. It's kind of like that. Like your things, there's not much you can do except play your tactical cards. So we picked up 12 loot, 156 experience, and we got about half a level out of this. But now we're also in control of what looks to be called Riedbark, which is a ruined settlement that is a heretic location. So heretic locations provide no income, supply, or storage, and you can't recruit from them. So we have to either do a purge. Basically, we have to do something to this place to make it useful. So what are our options? We could pillage this. It is a level 1 hamlet, so it would be worth 5 gold and 3 building materials per turn. We could pillage it. We could build a Confessor Tower. If we built a Confessor Tower, we would get +7 gold per turn, and it would immediately end the unrest state and guarantee us a minimum of 1 faith from here, meaning it would no longer be a heretic location. And then next turn, we can maybe play a purge on this to get the faith up. The maximum faith in here is 7, so we could definitely do a purge. We could, in theory, recruit some Starborn civilians. What's good about Starborn civilians is they have the Pioneer ability, so if I put them into the reserve, you can see here, they reduces the cost of upgrading locations by 15%. And this works while they're in the reserve. So I think having some civilians in the reserve is actually not a terrible thing as we move around the map and upgrade locations, even if they're not militarily very strong. Let's go ahead and end the turn and see where we stand. So zooming out, I don't see anyone on the map just yet. Moving around, there's kind of these grey people who are the neutrals. We'll zoom back in. And make some decisions about where we want to go and what we want to do. We could purge this location. It says I could do another Confessor Tower. Would that be an upgrade? I don't know if we should do that. Now, this location will take a while to build up the prosperity in order for us to be able to upgrade it. Once we do upgrade it, it is worth quite a bit better. Or it is quite a bit better. I'm tempted to do a purge here. It's only 15 gold for the purge. I'll tell you what, let's do the purge. That way we get really strong faith income. And then we're going to attack this neutral army. Now this neutral army has some Svarters who have devastating charge, fast, and coward. And then we have the Dornwurs. Now I believe the Dornwurs have a summon ability, or maybe it's a single rose beast that has that. So these guys have an area attack. So in terms of positioning my army in preparation for this fight, I think what I would like to do is to make sure that my horde unit is away from the unit with trample. I'll keep my 2 flying units over here to fight the bigger units, while these guys keep the little group of guys busy, and then I'll play my tactical cards on this smaller area to give them an advantage. So I think this is how we're going to do it. Let me double check. So they're in line 3 and line 5. So in terms of preparing, line 3 is you, and then line 5 is here. This will get us the setup that we want, I think. Then let's go ahead and make the attack. And since our units are melee, we want them as far forward as possible to get them into the fight as soon as possible. So they fired an AoE at us. We're going to play Authority on these guys to give them a defense buff. Then we're going to play the AoE damage spell, Heavenly Wrath, while our big guys are fighting their big guys. Our small guys are fighting their small guys. We'll go ahead and play the defensive card on them again. Ooh, we're getting attacked. These guys need to charge in. Okay, they're charging in. Ooh, it looks like we might lose one of our flying guys. Let me just fly them away for a split second, so we can keep them alive. And then we'll play the AoE attack on you. And then we'll play defense on these guys as well. They're good at taunting. And they're just going to like overwhelm this guy. Perfect. So we managed to keep him alive, which was wonderful, using the fly away ability. We should get a level out of this. Got 26 gold. That's lovely. In terms of casualties, we didn't take any casualties and we completely annihilated them. We have leveled up, so we can play the level up strategy card. Wolfgar Black Mantle has leveled up, so we can choose a new ability. We could get Pyre level 1, which is a strategy card. We play this on a friendly location to erect a pyre on it for 3 turns. It immediately generates faith based on the location's current prosperity points. 10 prosperity points will generate 15 faith. As long as the pyre is burning, it guarantees a minimum faith income of 1 and stops faith income from declining. Unlocks the recruitment for canonists. So this is really good if you want to... I think, like, thematically, you basically burn a location or something, or like you burn the prosperity of a location. The nice thing is the minimum faith income of 1. And stopping faith income from declining is really useful. For the Illumine flight, we can send a flock of Illumine birds from the hero to the target area where they remain for 4 seconds. Enemies surrounded by the flock will move and attack 70% slower and receive periodic attacks with 1 power. Alternatively, we could upgrade the Confessor Tower. Upgrading the Confessor Tower will lower the cost from 40 to 30 in terms of gold and from 25 to 20 in terms of materials. But it doesn't actually upgrade the ability of the strategy card. This is nice because it means the return, like, what it means is the Confession Tower will get its return on investment faster. But I do really like the ability of Illumine Flight to be able to directly influence the battlefield. Spells like this can significantly improve the outcome of a battle. I really like it when I have abilities that allow me to directly impact the battle. I also really like abilities that improve my economy, which both of these things do. However, I think unlocking a new card is better than upgrading an existing card. So for that and I already have a building that I can build. So I'm going to go ahead and take Illumine Flight because of the direct impact it'll have on my actual battles. Now, we got a new card, plus this guy can actually carry an extra army, or an extra unit rather. So if I right click on him, this is my mobile capital. I believe if this army dies, we lose the game. Yeah, this army counts as the Celestial Church's capital. It cannot hide in forest and cannot be ambushed. Okay. So we've used up all our movement attacking here. We've got some Rose Knights in Baedeker Bridge. We've got Rose Knights, we've got Svarters, and we've got Alaravan. So the Alaravan are pretty weak but very numerous. The Rose Knights are a little bit stronger with some good abilities, especially reflect damage. So we would probably want to take these guys out with some sort of trample damage. And then the Svarters, they have this charge ability. So in terms of setting my army up for this attack, well, I'll do that next turn, but in terms of resources, yeah, we need to save up more money before we can recruit. But yeah, I would like to get a hold of this bridge, because I believe you can't normally cross rivers without things like bridges. I do like that the game has like a very detailed manual that can teach you about all the different games mechanics, like loot wagons and stuff like that. Like, dude, it's just one of these games that is just wonderfully crafted. Like, if I was a big studio, I would be investing money into these guys and then just like sitting back and letting them cook. So we could purge a location as well if we wanted to. I don't think we necessarily need to. Do we want to go fight this directly? The game considers it an easy win. Let me do this. I think I want to do a setup more like this. I want these guys to sit back slightly. We could pop back to our capital and recruit another unit. We could get some more esquires. Now, the interesting thing about guardian units, and kind of talk about this real quick, is guardian units like this, they have the guardian tag, or maybe I'm misremembering. There's a tag that basically, if you have a number of units of the same type in an army, they get stronger. Maybe I'm misremembering the tag. It would be nice to get the avowed. What's the movement cost back here? It would cost most of our movement, but then we would probably be able to attack this army. Having a ranged AoE attacker would be nice. So let's zip back to the capital. We'll pop in here. I'm going to recruit the avowed ranged unit. I'll put them behind my protective infantry. I don't know how long their range is, so I'll put them far back at the back of the army right now. And yeah, we're going to engage these guys in melee is the plan. So we can make it to these guys, and it's always good. You always want to be trying to get a battle in every turn if you can. Okay, so our hero charges forward, begins the fight. We can play the AoE flock of birds thing. The ranged units are kicking in already. I'll place a Heavenly Wrath here as well, because that should do a lot of AoE damage. I'll also play a defense for some of these guys. Beautiful, we're annihilating them. So I don't even know if we really took much damage there. I think a couple of my bird guys took a point of damage, but I think we got away with that pretty cleanly. We got 38 gold, 230 experience. We're close to another level. What's the faith looking like in here? It's up to 12 max faith, so it's not worth playing a purge on this place, I don't think. We could go take out the Celestial Temple. This is a sacred location, which would be really good, I think, based on my faction. So we'll go ahead and end the turn and have a think about that. I'll zoom out so we can see any of the macro moves that the AI are making. We could recruit a new hero. And I almost certainly will. I'm going to send this. I think we want to go capture this temple as soon as possible. So let's get in there. I forgot to rearrange my army, but that's fine. These are ranged priests. They'll do a significant amount of damage. But thankfully, we do have an AoE spell that can make them take damage and do less damage. And our charging bird units will do a lot of work as well. I'll try to use a taunt here. My ranged priests. Just doing like big DPS. Perfect. A little bit of charging damage. They're all dealt with. There's a victory. And we got ourselves 36 gold, 216 experience, and a level up. So we'll get to do another perk here. Let's play the level up card on our hero. We've got some new card choices. So we could either get Illumine Inferno, which unleashes an inferno of celestial fire on the target area. Enemies inside are pulled to the middle and receive a power to attack every 2 seconds. Lasts for 6 seconds. So this is three power 2 attacks in a large area every 28 seconds. This could be really good for winning battles. I do like the pyre as well, but I already have a building, and I do think that active spells are very strong for improving your situation. Now, this location is in Unrest, so recruitment and upgrade cards are not going to be available, but we could play the Confession Tower. We could also pillage this location if we really wanted to. So let me have a look. What is this location capable of? It has a location upgrade available. It has some faith. It's in unrest. Its faith income won't decline below 1 faith. Okay. So I think I will play the Confession Tower for the extra gold here. That will take this place out of unrest. And then we could, let's see here, we could recruit Acolytes of Wrath, which were the units that we saw. These are believer units, so they would fit really nicely. These have ranged and annihilate. And if I remember correctly, annihilate is really strong against armored or magic creatures. I don't remember. We could recruit a random lesser celestial unit, or we could get more Skiroliths. I do think that these Skiroliths, these are like our elites, like our super powerful flying, like, okay, yeah, they have some counters. Yeah, annihilate 1 means you do 2 damage instead of 1. I do think that these guys are strong enough to be worth playing another flying bird creature. That will mean I recruit a hero a turn later, but I think I'm okay with that, as I'm not too fussed about it. I may, you know what, I may even just purge this location to pump up my faith income. Because it's a faithful location, yeah, look at that. It has a cap of 12. Perfect. So let's go ahead and jump into the next turn. And we kind of need to come up with a decision about which direction we want to send our hero. We could move up to the bridge. We could move down south to the fortress. I'm thinking of moving up to the bridge and then leaving these kind of smaller armies for my second hero that I'm going to recruit to deal with. That is the hope and the dream. And I'll leave all these just like 2 unit stacks with just 2 units in them for my newest hero to deal with. We could play a build-up card, which would give us more gold and building materials from this hamlet. I think let's take care of Bedeker Bridge first. Now, there is also a Gigapede here. These guys are weapon masters, so they attack at ranged, and they don't suffer penalties when in melee. They are a garrison. They have really good pierce, really good damage, and attacks all enemies in a straight line. So this is a kind of a terrifying unit. Probably what I want to do is set up my hero to engage that while I leave the rest of my army to engage the other stuff. So I'll kind of reposition for that. Let's go and attack Bedeker Bridge now. It probably won't be the easiest battle I've ever had, but it shouldn't be too crazy. I'll play a taunt card on you. I'll play the AoE damage right here, and I'll play another AoE damage right there. My hero's fighting the Gigapede, making things nice. Let's play the Illumine Inferno as well, just playing all the damage cards that we can to try and get damage in on our enemies. Play a defensive card. Let's use the flight card to get everyone on the Gigapede. Boom, there they are. They're going to gang up on him. The Gigapede is dead. Beautiful. That was magic. 56 gold, 350 experience, 4 faith, and a level up. Beautiful. So let's trigger a level up on this hero. We could unlock the Pyre. We could upgrade Heavenly Wrath. I do like the idea of getting a new recruitment ability. Being able to recruit canonists could be really good. We could upgrade Authority, which would give it an extra +1 defense to the unit that is given the defense. Alternatively, we could do Heavenly Wrath, which would lower enemy power by another point for 10 seconds. I think I like to have a sort of broad set of available strategies to me, so I'm going to go ahead and unlock the Pyre card, and now we can recruit another unit for this army. I can't quite afford the hero contract. Now, a bridge, if we kind of pop out here, this location is in ruins. So if we rebuilt it, we would get 7 gold and 3 materials per turn. We don't quite have the materials for that, but we could build a Confession Tower here, which would end the unrest and give us more gold income. Oh no, we can't. The faith in Reedbark is dipping. Here's what I'm tempted to do. I'm tempted to recruit a Starborn civilian in the garrison here, with the purpose being that it will reduce the cost to upgrade this location in materials slightly, getting us an extra 2 gold and 1 materials per turn. That will increase the maximum faith income, meaning a purge on this location is actually not too bad, although it adds plus 10 fate, so we might want to wait another turn before we do a purge. And we'll take a moment to see what happens in the next turn. So I haven't seen any of the actions of another player just yet. My temple over here was captured, so I'm going to go recapture that. I can't afford to do the rebuild, so I'm going to come down here and quickly just fight to recapture the temple, because I invested a decent amount in that temple. Alright, let's do Illumine Flight to make these units charge less effectively. We'll play a Heavenly Wrath to suction and stun them. Beautiful. I don't think we've lost anything just yet. We've got one more enemy. Let's get the flight on top of them. I love the flight card because it lets you just jump on an enemy and take them out. None shall stand in our way. We got 30 gold, 190 experience, and we recaptured this location. It's technically in Unrest. We could recruit another Skirolith. I feel like I'm starting to be too overly reliant on them, which worries me. I would also like to recruit a new hero, so we can get a Truth Weaver, who's a part of the Celestial Church. We can get an Inquisitor. We already have an Inquisitor. And we can get a Kobold Seeker. I like the idea of getting a Truth Weaver, since that's a new type of leader. This is a rogue leader. That's also a healer with line attack and enfeeble. Sure, let's recruit a Truth Weaver. So that's you. You have Purge and Pyre. Let's have a look at your starting army. Your starting army includes... Oh, that's so cool. She's like standing as like the dragon wraps around her. So you've got 7 power. You've got 15 health. You are a Rogue Believer leader. So Rogue and Believer units will gain plus 2 power. You have slow attack. So you attack quite slowly. You do 2 damage on an attack. You ignore 3 ranks of fear and dread and negative morale. You regenerate the health of all units in the army by 20% per turn. Also works well in reserves. Very good. And then you've got line attack and enfeeble. So very much so a support hero. A ranged... Right? Was it ranged? I can't tell if you're ranged. Your hero Starborn Monster Horror. Armor block, pierce, taunt. I think I could get you back to the capital to recruit a unit, maybe? Let me see. We could get you some more Esquires. They're not rogues, and they're not believers. But it would be nice just to have more units. And then we can make use of you to start clearing out some of these local armies. We slowly march forward. Dude, I love the vibes of this hero. That is so cool. They send the dragon out to fight. That's insane. We got Silent Embrace. I don't know what that does. Oh, dude. Sends the Draken of the Truth with attack dealing attacks is exposed with 2 power. Okay. Send it. Boom. Oh. Dude. This is so cool. Okay. Enemies have done a charge. There's another charge, it looks like. Let's do Silent Embrace. Try to stun these guys to get a little bit of extra damage on them. Boom. Okay, I really love the vibes of this game. 26 gold, 154 experience, plus we took a few casualties on our Esquires, but nothing too crazy. Let's zoom out. Yeah, I think we're looking okay. We'll go ahead and end the turn. All of our movement was expended. There's nothing more that we can do. One of the things I really like about this game is that every turn, you can only really command your hero to do one major attack action. So you often have a lot of options for like what you can do, but not a lot of things that you can do, right? And what I mean by that is you have a wide variety of choices, but a limited like number of choices you can make. Does that make sense? Like, I can only really do a couple of sets of actions for each hero based on like what their abilities are and what cards I'm going to play. Oh, level 1 Purge is a lot weaker. It's a lot more expensive. Okay, I can't afford to recruit any more units in terms of faith. The faith of my locations is dipping. So let's do a Purge here. If we make our way to the bridge, we could rebuild it. So let's do that. I could attack this army for experience. Let's attack this army for experience. We have found another player. Looks like we're up against some kind of like turtle beast. I'll play this card on them to keep them busy. I'll do the Inferno on this weird little pack rat thing. And then I'll do Heavenly Wrath on you. And I'll try to get a taunt on my heroes here. Perfect. Easily dealing with this small army. Beautiful, picking up a little bit of experience and some gold. The gold in your army, what I really like about the gold is that it's stored in these loot wagons. And there's a hero which is really cool that they can like summon the loot wagons to charge across the battlefield and like trample the enemies, which is just like thematically a beautiful idea. There's so many like little cute mechanics and ideas, you know, tumbling around inside this game. So this belongs to another player. I can't quite tell. It's purple. Whoever purple is. They're light eaters. Oh, we're under attack. Okay. I don't know if they're going to be able to win this fight. Let's slow down the attack of these guys using our Rose Thorns. Then we'll use Heavenly Wrath to weaken this group of enemies. Then let's try to vacuum these guys up to get good damage on them. It's not going to be a huge amount, but it's a decent little trickle of damage. We'll play a taunt card here just to get extra defense on my units. Lovely. We've destroyed the disbelievers. We got 65 gold, 450 experience, and a little bit of faith, and a level up. Beautiful. That all happened at my end turn as well. That wasn't even my doing. Okay, so let's play the strategy card to level up here. We could level up Purge to level 3, which means it no longer costs gold. It gives an extra 2 faith. I mean, that is really hard to not just take. Like, that just seems so damn good. Being able to freely purge. I could attack this Celestial Temple. I kind of like to build up my empire. I have a lot of fun doing that. So I think what we'll do is we'll step back here and we'll rebuild this bridge. Wait, I really don't have enough? Oh, never mind. Let's go attack the temple. It is now my temple. I think what we'll do is we will build... let's purge this location. I probably should have built the thing first. It's not the end of the world. It's fine. We could build the Confessor Tower. We could build the Pyre. Being able to recruit canonists. You know what? Let's build a Pyre. I haven't built a Pyre before. So that's going to get us 9 faith because of the prosperity. Then we can recruit canonists, which are starborn infantry believers with ranged, ward, swift attack, banish, and preacher. Fragile priests whose swift range attacks effortlessly break through enemy wards. Let's take a set of these. So they have a base of 5 power, 2 health. They are ranged and they have a penalty in melee. They attack at a medium range. They have ward, so they have a good chance to ignore incoming damage. Swift attack, so they attack faster. They ignore up to 2 ranks of enemy ward. I think ward is meant to be like magic armor, like thematically. And they're also preachers, so they generate 2 additional non-declining faith income per turn. If stationed on a faithful location, reduces faith decline by 1, does not stack with other faith declining effects, does not make locations faithful on its own. Okay, so just another decent ranged unit. Kind of set our army up in this kind of like interesting checkerboard. Let's recruit a unit for you. We can't afford to recruit anything. So instead what we'll do is we'll look to do an attack and then we'll consider doing a purge depending. So up against some Rose Knights. Let's play the Serpentine Torrent. Do a nice big AoE damage. Then we're going to play the Silent Embrace, which will lower enemies' attack and also give them a chance of being poisoned. Boom, nice big AoE. Our melee units are going to hopefully win the fight for us. It's looking rough out here. We're going to need more spells to win this fight. Maybe I should have brought an extra unit. These infantry are just not that strong. My enemies are retreating. I think they've been hit by fear. Let's drop a spell right on top of them. There we go. And then we're going to do another Silent Embrace thing. Pow. Poisoned, damaged, lovely. Alright, my taunters are doing the work. That was magic right there, man. So the Rose Knights have been defeated. We gained gold experience. She's going to level up. Let's play the level up card on her. We could get Illumine Veil, which is a new strategy card. Play in a friendly, armor your location and consume 30% of the health of all celestial units and heal all non-celestial units. Oh, that's kind of an interesting... That is an interesting card. You basically use your celestial units' health to heal non-celestial units. A very interesting ability. Play on an enemy army or location to randomly poison up to 3 units. Poisoned units lose 15% of the health at the start of each turn and may take extra damage every 3 seconds in combat. Lasts 3 turns. Ooh, that's really good. We could alternatively upgrade the Pyre, meaning that the faith generation would go up from 10 points, from 15 faith for every 10 prosperity to 20 faith for every 10 prosperity, and the Pyre would last an extra turn. I see, so the Pyre is a temporary building for faith. Oh, that's a really interesting idea. Okay, I didn't actually realize that when I was reading it. I love the idea of Venom Whispers, though. The ability to poison an enemy army before you get into combat with them, that is such a cool idea thematically. I now understand the limitations of the Pyre building better. The combination of like hitting up a location, purging it, dropping a Pyre to keep your faith income high, like that's a really cool set of ideas. The nice thing about capturing this fortress is that it would have walls, which would heavily slow down anyone trying to attack us from the south. We could go for what I think is a capital city here. Now they have Shriekers, which are long-ranged AoE bombardment units. But we do have the ability to crush sieges pretty effectively. We could also recruit another hero. I don't know if we need to recruit that hero just yet. I would like to recruit units in my Inquisitor. No, not my Inquisitor. She's the Fate Weaver. Truth Weaver. I would like to recruit units in the Truth Weaver's army. It would be nice to have the Skirillith. It's a relatively strong, it's a pretty elite unit. More importantly, it's also a... oh, hello. We've got Illumite Militia. What would be nice about this is that it also has the scouting ability, so we'd be able to see a lot better. It would make me happy to get Avowed. I might wait a turn with Einhild Fate Weaver so that we can wait to recruit her another ranged unit to use. And in the meantime, I could put this city to siege. This little army will cause a problem if I don't deal with them. We could, in theory, build this location up. At level 2, we would be able to recruit Exarchists, which would cost a lot of faith. At level 3, we could summon random elite Celestials. I don't know if I want to upgrade a building right on the border with my enemies. Upgrading Vindensang would give us access to the Exarchist as well. Like, I'd be more likely to upgrade this one because it's in a safer position. Let's take out this small enemy army because it's worth just that little bit of experience. Don't need to play any cards or anything. It's just basically farming them. You know what? Let's put this place under siege. We need to get momentum on the map, and I think just sitting back and chilling doesn't really do a whole lot in this game. Uh-oh. Reginald the Nightmare has a huge army. He also has a relic, the Standard of Discipline. Alright, let's succeed in this siege. I'll use my flying units to dive on the enemy archers. I'm also going to use this. Do some damage to them. I'll do a Silent Embrace right here. Hopefully getting the poison in. I'll get my flying units to jump back and try and take out those archers. Get them to fight in melee, hurting their combat abilities. While we try to just take them out in melee here. So I'm worried about this big army from my enemy right on our border. Not quite a level. I'm gonna play Venom Whispers on this enemy army, which has poisoned some of their units. A monster lair has reappeared here in this toll bridge. I'm gonna retreat out of this position. I'm gonna rebuild the bridge. We're gonna purge it to get its faith up. And now this guy should be in position to reinforce this fortress when it's attacked. And we'll play a purge on this location as well. I don't think we'll be able to recruit anything before it gets attacked, but that's fine. We're not going to lose any relics or lose our... I'll lose anything really. This temple will probably fall, but that's okay. Let's see what happens. Bridges are great because they do act as like map choke points. You have to, like, you can't cross that river. So he's laid siege to it. It will take him 2 turns. We do have time to respond. Let me see, what can I recruit here? I could recruit another Avowed, and I will. And then I'm going to take this army. I wouldn't mind building a pyre, but I think I'm going to build the Confession Tower just to get more money out of this location. And I'm going to go ahead and counterattack here. Now his units should be poisoned, so he's going to have a really bad time. I don't know if both of my armies will engage, but at least my outer army will. And I feel like we have a good chance here of winning this fight. Let's do an Illumine Inferno. I think we need most support over here. I'm probably going to get my flying units to drop back into the back end to try to kill these really strong enemies. Play a taunt card here too. Okay, so we've cleared up the big enemy front line, and now we've just got mostly their range units to deal with. I'll be able to play Illumine Flight on these enemies here too. This will lower their attack rate, and we'll do Illumine Inferno. We're just going to drop everything. Drop all of our spells to try and get the enemies under control. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, I think we're winning handily. Okay, I'd call that a pretty comfortable victory. We're going to steal a relic from these guys, which makes me really happy. So 151 gold, 1,000 experience, a level up, and some faith. That's big. So let's drop the level on you. Wolfgar Black Mantle has leveled up. We could level up the Illumine Flight, which would increase the power of the damage from these attacks. Making the Confession Tower cheaper could be really useful for us. Ooh, increasing the duration of this Inferno would increase the crowd control of like suction effect of pulling people towards the center, and also dealing another power to attack. I really like this, but I also really like the Confession Tower upgrade. We have room for another unit. Oh, he actually leveled up twice. That's crazy. I don't necessarily need to upgrade the Pyre. I think I'm going to upgrade the Illumine Flight card. I think that's the right choice. So you've used up all of your movement. You should still be able to do a purge on the capital, getting the faith up there. I'll send my secondary hero up to defend Baedeker Bridge, because there's this like 5 stack of units roaming around here. And I'll recruit... I would have liked to have recruited an Avowed here, but I'll recruit a Skirlith. I just got to spend my resources that I have. We'll go to the next turn. Dude, just look how gorgeous this game is. You can see the like little bits floating off the woods and the wind over the ocean. God, this game is gorgeous. This is how strategy games should look, in my opinion. It is just gorgeous. So this looks like it would be a pretty even fight here. We could poison them to make it a little bit more, to make it easier. Now, my enemy came through this pass here, so I could opt to go through that pass myself. I think I'm going to build a Confession Tower here, and then I'll purge the location to bring it up to its maximum faith potential. That's 8 per turn. Great. We can have another 2 units in this army. We could get some Esquires. Let's get those cheap Esquires. They've actually been doing a lot of work as our front line. And now we have the relic, the Standard of Discipline, which gives our units unwavering. So we'll ignore fear, dread, and morale debuffing effects. I could recruit another Skirlith. You know what? I'm going to recruit the Skirlith. I'm just going to get whatever units I can into this army to make it as strong as possible. Let's go hit the Forlorn Pride settlement. So what is this? This is a location. It's a heretic location. We could pillage it. I don't see a reason to. We'll deal with it next turn. In terms of this hero, I think it would be nice to engage in this battle to get a bit of experience on this army. Now, I think we are going to be dealing with some of these bigger guys. So I'll do a Serpentine Torrent. I'll do a Silent Embrace over here, and then I'm going to use Flight to maybe try and get my flying units into the fray with these ranged guys. Good, 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 good. Yeah, nice. Keep it up. Perfect. We cleaned up the ranged. The melee is getting cleaned up. We will need to drop a Serpentine Torrent over here as soon as the card is ready. Try to get a bit of damage on these guys. Hopefully get the stun off as well. There we go. Nice big hits. Okay, lovely. Yeah, the battle's going okay for us. We've got our swarm of units in on top of them. Beautiful. Okay, sick. There's 62 gold, 381 experience, and level up for our Truth Weaver. Let's play the level up card on her so that we can level her up. Divine Revenge. Affected friendly combatants explode on death for the next 15 seconds. Each explosion hits close by enemies for 4 power. That is really strong. Then we have Illumine Veil, which allows you to heal. We could upgrade the Purge card. Upgraded Purge is so good for just getting that faith income. I do love the Divine Revenge, but I'm going to go for the upgraded Purge just because the hunger for faith that this faction has definitely been pretty revealing on how you want to play. And I'm actually going to take my Inquisitor out of this location in preparation of attacking the Wildwoods over here. Let's go to the next turn. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the potential counterattack from the north. Enhild Fate Weaver is pretty strong. The good thing is that the only army that I care about losing, like the only thing that I care about losing that loses me the game is this army down here. So as long as I keep this army really strong, I feel pretty... I don't know if safe is the right word, but like, I'm not panicking. Oh shoot. Okay. I'm not sure where this... I wasn't paying attention. I kind of zoned out for a second, and I don't know where this attack is happening or where it came from. But it doesn't look great for us. I might want to get my flying units over here to deal with these guys that are spawning units. It looks like my hero's going to die, which is not good. Oof. So we lost our hero. She did gain some experience at least, and so when we revive her, she will be able to level up. Yikes. Let me play a Purge. Well, first I will play the Confession Tower, and then I'll play the Purge. Then let's attack this location. It's only a three enemy units in it. Well, it shouldn't be much of a problem for us to deal with this. Oh, they did a pile of gold taunt. I love that one. It'll like do a big AoE damage explosion in a second. Boom. There it is. That one's a lot of fun. Great for when your enemies group up. Okay, amazing. Took him out. Get some experience and some gold and some faith. So what is this? Is this their capital? It is. So if I was able to take this out, I could take these guys off the map, which would allow me to then refocus up in the north. So I think that's what we're going to do. It's one of the advantages of having a moving capital is I don't need to worry about losing my original city. Yeah, I mean, it sucks if you lose a city, right? Because it's like a high income, like 27 gold, 10 building materials. But like, it doesn't end my game. So I suspect he'll go for the bridge next and take that out, which will leave the rest of our terrain sort of open. We don't exactly have a very strong garrison there, but that's fine. If we can take out this guy's capital, I'm hoping... So we could do a heroic return. I don't think I'm going to do that just yet. Let me see. Can I do a recruitment? Not exactly. Let's play the Confession Tower plus a Purge on this location. What could we recruit? Wild Beast Guardian. Yeah, so this guy has the banding of Guardians. We've got Illumine Hounds, Celestial Beast Guardians, and then summon a random beast. I could summon a Skirlith to go into the reserve. I don't think we're going to do that. Instead, we're going to go ahead and just directly attack and siege this. I'm going to do a heroic return on Einhild. We'll attack and put this under siege. It'll take 2 turns. Jump in here, Einhild. Now you are ready to level up. Divine Revenge. Serpentine Torrent upgrade increases the power of the line attack from 4 to 5 and the power of the explosion from 3 to 2. Very good. I think I'm going to go for Divine Revenge, allowing any of my units dying to explode and deal damage. Now, you have bonuses when you have believer units in your army, and these Skirillets are believers. We could some of these Illumine Hounds because they only cost faith. So I'm going to summon an Illumine Hound for you. So this is a 2 units. They have 15 health with 30 health. They have Devastating Charge, Ward 2. They're fast. They attack faster. They deal extra damage. And oh, they heal fast too. Plus, they have a 50% chance to regenerate 2 health every 10 seconds. That's really strong, actually. I'm tempted to summon, see, Feathered Hound. They have Scout and Evade, which is quite useful. I might try to just fill this army with beasts. So next turn, I'll do a sort of similar setup. We'll have you park here for a turn while we recuperate the total number of units that you have. I could recruit a hero, but I can't afford to fill out his army yet, so we'll just stay. I think I prefer to have less heroes with bigger armies than more heroes with smaller armies. It'll take 2 turns to put this siege down. I fully expect to see some pretty heavy losses up here in the north, especially since there isn't really much in the way of garrisons up here. Our faction isn't particularly good at fortifying locations. We are under attack. It looks like they're trying to break the siege, although they don't have a particularly strong hero. But here's the thing, if they can take out any of our units, they make the following siege easier. I think this is a move of desperation from the AI. They just don't have the resources to be able to stop me. So they're just throwing whatever they can at me. Which honestly I can respect. Okay, 6. So we got some experience, we got some gold. Of course, the downside here is now that they've just leveled up my hero for the eventual battle when it comes. Yeah, so they're attacking me over here. It looks like they're heading up north. There might be something up there that they see that I don't, but we're losing locations. Thankfully, the city is fortified, so we will have some time to come back and defend it. Like, these 2 fortified locations are easier to hold, but it's concerning just how much of the map these guys are starting to get control. I've got 1 more turn on this siege. Let's level up the hero. So we could upgrade the Confession Tower to level 3, which would lower the cost by another 10 gold and 5 materials. That's really strong. We can increase the Pyre Faith. I like the Confession Tower has been like super good at like pumping up our economy, so getting it cheaper really just means our economy is even more efficient to build. It's the same building regardless, but it gets cheaper to build, which is really nice. Since purging is free, we may as well do a purge here. And coming into this place, I'm going to recruit some more Illumine Hounds. I'm going to recruit another Feathered Hound. And do I want the Skirilleth or a random beast? I think I'm going to go for the Skirilleth because it's a believer. It'll get that +2 base power. It's actually up. Yeah. Now the nice thing is these little dogs, they get stronger the more of them you have. I'll do something like this. Like this is a reasonable setup. And then I'm going to send her to this fortress. Hopefully she can pull off a counterattack on this relatively weak leader here. Get herself some experience. Yeah, there's not much we can do. We kind of just have to wait for our sieges to go through. I could step her out into the nowhere, but I would rather have her inside a fortified location. We could, in theory, recruit another unit to go into the reserves here. I don't know if we should do that. We'll play around that based on what next turn looks like in terms of our resources and materials and stuff. Okay, it looks like they're trying to break out the siege again, but I don't know if they have the power to do it. They're trying to hit us with everything they have, but we're dropping all of our spells. We're being attacked left, right, and center. I'm not going to play the flight card. I will play the taunt card here for the extra defense. Yeah, they're doing the same. Their hero's under attack. My hero's back here doing some good work, trying to kill these summoners. I might get my flight units over here to take out these summoner units. At least I think they're summoners. I can't quite tell. Thankfully, the enemy hero's down. We'll play this AoE damage card here. Oh, no, it got delayed. We'll play it here. Let's do it. We'll do the Inferno. All right, looking good. Beautiful. We do need to check our casualty report there because it looks like I might have lost some units. Yeah, I lost some esquires and some canonists. Now, I don't know when the regeneration tick happens. Like, is it at the end of your turn or at the start of your turn? If it's at the start of your turn, looks like it's at the end of the turn. Can't tell. Or maybe it's when you're not sieging. Or, well, actually, I still think it's purple guy's turn. So we wouldn't get a regen tick anyway. Okay, so we breached the gates. Let's check the health. Okay, so you get it at the start of your turn. That's when you get your regen tick. Perfect. The gates have been breached. There's nothing here. So, yeah, they basically sallied out in a desperate attempt to liberate the city, but it didn't work. This is a Monument of Silence. Increases the gold income by 7 and building materials by 5. This gives access to memories. It's a Light Eater Nexus. Once conquered, this location will become ruined again and cannot be rebuilt. I can't remember. Does this act as a gateway to the other world? I don't remember. I don't know if we can actually rebuild this city. I think it just dies. So Wolfgar Blackmantle has leveled up again. I don't think the Pyre is like... I mean, the Pyre is pretty cool because you get the Canonists. But... I mean, it's crazy good if you want to generate a lot of faith. Increasing the duration of the Inferno another 2 seconds is so good, though. I love that one. So I think I've conquered this location now. I'm not entirely sure what's happening in terms of the UI. We could go retake this bridge. There's 2 units in the bridge. We could recruit some Esquires to live in the reserve, and reserves will be pulled into battle after a unit dies. So let's do that, and then let's go take the bridge. The bridge is going to be a good location to try to hold, plus it'll get us a little bit of income. And I don't think these guys are going to be able to stop us, especially not with our big charging ghost wolves. I have like sick trample damage. Beautiful. Okay, we've retaken the location. Should be wrapped up here in a moment. We've taken out these guys. And we got a little bit of experience. Probably not a level, but slowly getting that level. The bridge is mine. Let's play a purge on the church because it's fairly safe. Let's see. We could pillage. It might be good for us to upgrade the city as it's a nexus of massive productivity. Be an extra 10 gold and 5 materials per turn, which is big. So I think we will upgrade the city to the next prosperity level. Plus, if we can get it to prosperity level 3, it would make a ton of resources for us. All right, boom. We've captured this enemy capital. Now, there's nothing we can do here because once we take them out, that's it. They're done for. Cronfall has fallen. Once a Light Eater Nexus brimming with the memory of the hymn, this land is now devoid of life. Nothing can be built here. I think certain empty locations can have stuff. What we could do is, in theory, leave a unit here as a garrison to prevent... I think bandits can appear in ruins, but that might actually not be the worst thing because it creates opportunities for new heroes to level up. Let's go attack this watchtower. It looks like it's been upgraded to have fortifications. So it will take a turn of sieging for us to get it, but we may as well keep momentum on the map. But we're holding the bridge over here, which makes me very happy because it's going to be really annoying for them to try to counterattack on that bridge. Okay, beautiful. We've breached the gates. We should be able to very easily annihilate this location. These look like pretty basic units here. We'll just drop our spells when they come available. Ooh, they do have the defensive fire. That's one big advantage of being in a fortified location, is you do get the extra defensive fire card, which allows you to deal damage to enemy units on a regular cooldown. Right, so no gold, but we do get a little bit of experience out of this. We will be able to build the Confession Tower and then drop a purge on this location. It looks like there's another significant choke point here with another hamlet. It's a high level hamlet as well. So Jaegers can be recruited here. Those are rogues, but this isn't the right type of leader to be recruiting rogues. I'd be more likely to recruit believers like the Skirolith and the Canonists. I'll grab myself into the Skirolith. I'm relying heavily on the Skirolith, but I think it is a good unit. We could build up this bridge. It has garrison level 1. I don't know if building it up will do anything except increase its income. Would I be better off building up a location like this that's like nestled safely in the back? This is worth 3 materials. What's nice about 3 materials is that would help us upgrade our other locations faster too. So I do like the idea of upgrading that. This fort wouldn't be bad to upgrade as well. I could move left to reconquer this hamlet. There's a tiny amount of experience in it. Let's do it. All right, enemies taken out. Beautiful. Barely any damage taken. Cleaned them up. Got a bit of experience. It's not much. But more importantly, this location is now mine and we can do a purge on it. And we should be able to counterattack that bridge when they inevitably attack it next turn. Let's go ahead and see what happens. So I'm fighting the purple player on like multiple fronts, it feels like. I'm fighting them up here in the north. I'm fighting them down here in the south. Thankfully, my capital is like a giant moving fist of unbelievable momentum that is incredibly hard to stop. That's a lot of armies. It's a lot of armies there. I'm gonna drop a poison on these guys. And then for this army, I may as well recruit some civilians to go in the back line. I'm also going to grab some avowed infantry. Try to just fill up their reserves so they can fight better. And I'm going to fall back to the city. And hopefully let the poison... Oh! I accidentally sent them out here to fight when I was not trying to do that. That's very, very unfortunate. Misclicking. Oof. So it depends. If we want the most experience and the most economy, going to attack this hamlet would be the play. But if we want to have the most direct attack on our enemies, going straight for this bridge would be big. I think I'm going to go for the hamlet. So let's do it. It looks like there's a lot of gold for me to loot from these guys as well. I've got a decent amount of loot wagons. Oh, they have some monstrosities. These big guys are scary. It's like a golem of pure absence. The absence of joy in the hymn, the faith. All right, looking good. We've got them mostly under control. This was actually quite an easy battle. I was expecting a lot more fight from a unit with 9... or from an army with 9 units in it, but we actually took them out relatively easily. A huge amount of resources gained. Plus, we're going to steal all their wagons. What we can do now is actually cash in those wagons by building the confession tower, because that has the storage perk. So I'll build the confession tower and then I'll purge the location. We have 400 gold in the bank in this watchtower. I could start recruiting Jaegers. The problem is that they actually cost... I mean, the Jaegers are great. If I could get them into the army of the rogue leader. Definitely I'm feeling like now is a good time to recruit a 3rd hero. Oof. We're being ambushed, which sucks, because I don't think we deserved to be ambushed there. Ambush is bad because it basically makes your army... It gives you a huge penalty to the opening of your army. Right, let's drop a big AoE over here. Hopefully that can do a lot of work. We'll drop another AoE right there. I'm wondering if I should use my flight to get in on top of the enemy's backline. These range units are just doing damage over and over unopposed. Try to keep my melee going. I'm going to make these units explode when they die. It's like a decent ability. Hopefully my reserves will start coming in. Let's drop Serpentine Torrent on these summoners in the backline. It won't do an insane amount of damage, but it will do some. And then we'll drop another spell to hopefully do even more. Trying to get them to die. It occurs to me that a hero who can poison enemy armies actually benefits a lot from being able to draw out the length of the battle. Okay, sick. Our enemies are basically dead. Just need like a little bit more damage on them. There we go. Huge experience gain. That could be 2 levels there. We took a lot of losses though. We lost all of our feathered hounds. All right, they took out that location. You did level up, and we do have reserves ready to pull forward into the fight. Let's play the level ups on you. We did get 2 level ups out of that. I do love the upgrade of increasing the power of the poison card. I think that would be awesome. So I'm going to go for that. That's going to make our enemies, going to make our poison more effective. Let's go to the next upgrade. Play in a friendly location to reduce the HP. We could upgrade. I don't really see much use for the Illumine Veil card. Maybe there's some interaction here that I'm not understanding. Maybe, but I do think upgrading the Pyre could be good. It is our only strategy, like upgrade a location card. So she has room for 9 units. Let's bring forward the melee and the AoE damage ranged units. We could recruit 2 more units to help these guys fight. Relatively small armies are available to our enemies, so we maybe don't need to go back. I'll drop a Venom Whisper on this enemy army before attacking it. So a lot of their units should be poisoned in this battle, which means they will take damage over time, which gives me a huge advantage. We'll drop an AoE spell right there. We'll drop an AoE spell right here as well. And yeah, the poison just did so much there. Sick. Okay, so we took them out. Big victory. Let's purge this location. That's your actions done. We're not going to pillage. We have the materials to upgrade some locations. I think level 3 is the maximum. You can't upgrade beyond level 3. Do we want to head north or do we want to try to secure the land? I think we're going to try and secure the land. There's a nice location over here. This is a mine. We'll go put that under siege. It'll take a turn. Let's have a look. I could upgrade this fortified location. It would allow us to recruit Illumine Exhorters. So we'll upgrade you. And if we pop in here, the Illumine Exhorters are Celestial Infantry Guardians that heal. Well, I can kind of see the value of moving health from Celestials to regular units, because I've noticed that a lot of them have healing, like built-in healing. Like if I go and I look here, these guys right here, these are Celestial, and they have Restoration 3. So they will regenerate 35% of their hit points. So being able to like siphon hit points from them to help other healers. But I think this character already regenerates an extra 20% of their unit's health per turn. So I don't know if it's necessary to have that extra heal. Maybe if you had a couple of Celestials like sitting in the reserve as like health pools that you could just fight, heal, fight, heal, fight, heal. There could be, you know, there's probably a strategy somewhere where that's a really effective card. Plus, also just thematically, it's a cool idea. All right, so we breached the gates down here. We can recruit a hero. Let me go ahead and breach the gates first. We'll finish this off. So this is Willem's, this is a Concorda Haven. So somebody built a Concorda Haven here, which is really nice, actually. Concorda, if I remember correctly, are like small little rogues with a ranged attack and the Guardian banding. The starting point of the old race networks of light veins, in order to produce income and prosperity, old race locations have to be connected to the fountainhead by placing buildings. Each connected location increases the capital owns prosperity growth by 1 per turn. Interesting. So this is some other factions' home that we have cleared. So now it belongs to us. We do have the Concorda Haven. If my rogue leader hero was down here in the south, I would definitely consider keeping the Concorda Haven. The fact that she isn't down here makes me consider just replacing this. I mean, I feel like my Confession Tower is just so strong. So I'm going to drop the Confession Tower and then I'll do another purge to get the population to play nice. Now, the fact that we built a building here means we can recruit and we can get those Illumine Hounds. Lovely. It could be good for us to get... These are Celestials, which is great. I think those might be better than the Starborn Taunters. So I'll get myself a Celestial unit here because they do get the +2 from the leadership of this guy. Sorry, or they're believers, right? Oh no, they're not believers. Okay, I was believers I was thinking of. Anyway, if we head back to here, we can attack the bridge. Let's do it. Here we go. It'll take a couple of moments just to get it all wiped out. We'll get rid of these goopy ghosts, guys. I'm going to call those Ghostbusters up. Okay, so he hit max level, so experience is now quote-unquote wasted on this guy. Like, it doesn't have an impact on him. Let's level him up to maximum. I do think it would be cool if there was like a unique level 10 card for each hero type. That'd be something like, oh, here's your capstone card. Like, you could pick between these 3. Like... ultimate hero abilities. I don't think we need better authority. I think increasing the penalty of the fear here from Heavenly Wrath would be better. We don't really build the Pyre, so we're going to just get the Heavenly Wrath. Then let's recruit a hero. So we could get an Inquisitor, a Truth Weaver, or a Rogue Prince. You know, we already have an Inquisitor and a Truth Weaver. Let's get a Rogue Prince, just for fun. He is a Rogue Leader. And he has some really interesting abilities if we kind of take a look at him. So he has Trample. He's fast. He's unwavering. He increases the gold value from battles, rewards, pillaged locations, explored adventures. He's a line breaker, and he inflicts fear. So he's great for generating revenue. I would love to get some Jaegers to fill out his army. I feel like Jaegers would do so much work for him. So I'm going to zip back here and recruit these Jaegers, because like these are like super strong units. First of all, they're going to get +2 from the fact that he's a rogue leader. They have 4 health with a lot of models. They have a ranged attack. It's a relatively low ranged attack, but because they're weapon masters, they don't suffer penalties from fighting in melee. They pierce up to 2 ranks of enemy armor. They deal +3 power against beast, horrors, or monsters, and they have unwavering rank 1. So these guys are really strong. The big advantage of the Vogelfrei infantry is they have evasion, pillage, and the banding of rogues. So they get stronger the more rogues are in the army. But I think my plan is to sit here and recruit the Jaegers for these guys. All right, let's go retake the bridge. Well, maybe I should recruit for you. We could get a lesser celestial. You do like rogues and believers. Acolytes of Wrath aren't terrible. Let's get them. And we'll get another believer unit as well. I just want to make sure you have all your units. Then, like, you fill out your unit slots. Like, let's cast Purge level 2 on this fortress back here to get the faith income up. We'll drop Venom Whispers on our enemy. We may as well upgrade this church just for funsies, and then we'll go attack. And we'll take these guys out. Hopefully you'll see the poison damage ticks. We'll drop our AoE spells right in the midst of the enemy. Hopefully we'll get a decent amount of damage and kills and stuff with them. Lovely. Big level up for her, hoping that she gets some new abilities. Let's drop the level up card on her so that we can pick her new ability. I just don't see the value of Illumine Veil. I do see the value of Divine Revenge. I do see the value of upgrading the Pyre again. We could get it to Pyre level 3, so it would last 5 turns, which is kind of a really interesting ability. I like the idea of the Pyre for just getting a ridiculous amount of faith. It just kind of, from an intrigue standpoint, it's just kind of like, it piques my interest. Okay, awesome. I think I'm going to take, there's 16 units in this army, which is insane. Now this bridge that we took control of, I think what I should do is I should play a confession tower here and then do a purge to increase the faith generation. There is a dark tower over here that we could go and take out. I think we will go take it out. It has 7 units in it. I am tempted to save that experience for this guy over here as I continue to recruit Jaegers. Next turn we'll be able to recruit another Jaeger, and this guy will be all decked out in really strong rogue units. I'm tempted to attack. Let's see, we could get some more Avowed. I do like these really long-ranged AoE attacks. Especially when you start getting into the late game with like lots of units. Like being able to dump huge amounts of ranged area of effect attacks is like super strong. I'm just going to clean this out. Because in the late game, the total number of units in an army goes up. Which means there's more opportunities for potential AoE damage if you play cards that, or sorry, if you have attacks that do area of effect damage. The sheer number of units on the battlefield means that you're more likely to get AoE splash damage. It's kind of like the logic that I'm following. So moving towards these nice big range units is the play, I think. Basically the logic that I'm following. It seems pretty straightforward to me. It is a waste of experience here. God, I would love it if I was able to keep leveling them up. Oh, and we found the Purgatory. So the Purgatory is the portal between this world and the next. Between the light and the dark world. So I definitely want to go check out the Purgatory. This is kind of what I've been waiting for to show you guys before I ended the video. I'll play a pyre on this place. Why not? It'll be fun to get all that faith. So Purgatories grant you the World Walker card so you can travel to the world beyond. So it looks like, oh man, we're doing really well. We've almost conquered the world. Nuh-uh, brother. There's another world inside your world so you can world while you world. Let's grab another Avowed. Again, sort of following the same logic of just like as the game goes later and later, I'm hoping that a large number of area of effect range attacks like starts to make sense from a strategic point of view. I would love to go attack the enemy capital, but I think I might want to go like dismantle their economy first, so I might just attack up here to the north. So 1 turn until the siege ends, and I'll be able to start moving this guy around once I grab 1 more set of these guys. If I had been thinking ahead, I would have started recruiting these for this guy. Now I don't remember how many heroes you can recruit. It's I want to say it's somewhere between 3 and 5. It's been a while since I played the game, so I don't remember the exact numbers. But yeah, I love the way that the silence affects the world. Like it just splashes of this desaturated red. Right, we've breached the gates here. There's only a small number of units, so this should be a fairly easy, clean sweep. We may as well poison the enemy just to make the battle go a little bit smoother. Trying to get them misclicked there, trying to get them to attack. Okay, sickening. Sickeningly powerful armies. We'll drop our AoE spell right there. Boom. We'll drop another one spell over here in the back. They did get defensive fire off on us. No, there's no need to play Divine Revenge. I played it, but I didn't mean, like, there was no need to play it. Something I noticed in that battle is that the hero's range is actually slightly lower than some of the other ranged units. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to reorganize the army and move the hero forward a step so they can get into combat a little bit sooner. I'm also going to... I'm going to build a pyre here. Beautiful. 35 faith. Plus, I'm going to purge this location. And so this place is going to generate a ton of faith, and that's not going to decline over time. Ooh, I love the idea. Oh, man, I would love upgrading Purge, but I also really want to upgrade Venom Whispers to level 3 because that means we now affect 5 units and the health loss goes up. Inflicting poison on 5 units is like super strong. I love the poison ability on the Fate Weaver, on the Truth Weavers. Very, very cool. So I want to head to the Purgatory. Let's go check it out. So we're going to play the World Walker card. So now I've moved the capital of my entire empire to the Dark World. There's usually something questionable defending the portal. But this kind of acts like a choke point. You can like garrison units in the Purgatory, and when people transition through, I think you fight them. I don't remember exactly how it works, but basically, we just moved to the Dark World. And the really cool thing about this is there is a whole other world now for us to fight in and explore and engage with the other players in the game, because this isn't the only play board, which I think is really, really cool. I love... So, I gotta be telling you, right? I've played this game for 2 hours now, and if I haven't sold you, I don't know what will. I don't know what will sell you on this game, man. It is just so good. They've got like this beautiful voice-acted story campaign. It's a completely unique art style. It's a completely unique lore. No game that I know of is doing anything like what this game is doing. So I don't know if continuing to play will convince you to play this game anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and just say, listen, yes, this is a sponsored video, but this is literally one of the best strategy games that has come out in a while for a variety of reasons. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.